Yeah, Anji.
Hey guys,
It's day 17, Anji.
what is it, Ramesh?
Day 17. Day 17.
Day 7, 16, or 17?
17.
17, sir.
17, okay. Day 17. So, yesterday we have seen that conditional statements we have completed, like if, else if, and others, looping and instead statements. Then we were discussing about the looping statements. The looping statements, first one is while, second one is do while, third one for. And while we have already seen, the syntax will be while first the initialization. I hope I have given all the definitions. Initialization. This is syntax. While syntax. Initialization. While. Then statements. Increment or decrement. Okay. So this is the syntax of while. Initialization, condition, increment or decrement. See, these three are very important. Means for any looping statement, like it may be the while or do while, or it may be the for loop, whatever it is, these three things are very much important. So without these three, there will be no looping statements. Okay. So example is, let me give an example. While, so yesterday we have already seen this. Integer I equals to 1. I equals to 1. That is the initialization of the variable. Then while, if I want to print from I to 1 to 10, I less than or equals to 10, system dot debug of I means I value will be printed I plus plus. So here this is initialization, means where it has to start. Maybe it is might be from 1 or from 100. Always this while statement should be always having the numbers only. Okay, or you can have some other conditions also, but make sure you will be having mostly numbers only. Integer I equals to 1 means I'm starting from 1 to 10. So if you start from 10 to 1 means if you need to give from 10 to 1, then the condition will be changed, like I greater than or equals to 1. Here minus minus, then simple means from 10, make sure that so you understand the conditions how the program will be executed. Integer I equals to 10, so I value is 10, then while condition will be checked I greater than or equals to 1 means 10 greater than or equals to 1. So this is greater than means it will come here, this line will be executed, then immediately this increment decrement will be done. 10 minus 1, 9. Again, condition will be checked. 9 greater than or equals to 1. Okay, this is how this logic will be executed until unless the logic is false. Means if the condition is false, then only it stops executing the statements. Here while statement always checks the condition first, then it executes the statements and others. Okay, this is while statement. and then we have do while. Initialization will be there for this as well. First one, initialization. This will be always first statement for anyone, for any type of looping statements, initialization. Then do statements. Or decrement. Then by condition. You have to give like this one. First, initialization, then do keyword, then starts brackets. Okay, this is do block. Then it executes statements, increment, decrement, then condition. Means first, see, while and do while there is a difference. Okay, in do while, first the statements will be executed, then condition will be checked. Means at least once the statements will be executed in do while. Listen carefully. In do while, the statements are executed first at least once. Means only once the statements will be executed, then condition will be checked. But in the while, first condition will be checked. If condition is true, then only statements will be executed. In do while, first statements will.
Anji, your
Okay, so let's practice do while. So print 1 to 10 using do while. This is the object. Do first initialization. Where to start? So we are saying that print 1 to 100. So this is saying that initialization will be 1 integer I equals to 1. Okay. Do of statements like system dot debug of value, then increment or decrement I plus this while, so till when it has to execute, while I less than or equals to 10. Okay, means I'm saying that initialization. So in the requirement itself, I'm saying that print 1 to 100. What is the starting number? 1 is the starting number. 10 is the ending number. So initialization will be started from where we have to start. So here we am saying that 1 to 100, 1 to 10. So initialization should be 1. Then statements, what has to be printed? Here it is there. And from where? From which number to which number? So 10 is the last number we have to end it, right? From 1 to 10. That's why I'm giving 10. 1, I less than or equals to 10. Right? This is the starting number and this is the ending number. Initialization and condition. Now try to execute this. series 1 to 10. Now let's see. If I ask you to write print numbers from 10 to 1, 10 to 1. Okay. So what is the starting number? What is the initialization number?
Starting would be 10, sir. I is equal to 10.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು minute.
Starting number would be I is equal to 10, sir.
Okay. So when I say this 1 to 10, what is the starting number? 1 will be the starting number. When I say 10 to 1, 10 will be the starting number. So then I have to get it less than 1. Means 1 by 1, I have to decrement instead of increment. So what I need to do is 10. Then 10 will be printed first. Then it has to become 9, right? 10 minus 1, 9. Now condition will be checked. I less than or equals 10. The condition will be false. So condition has to be changed, right? Now I greater than or equals to 1. Means what is the ending number? Ending number should be here. Starting number should be there. It is a while loop or it is do while, whatever it is. Initialization will be the starting number. Ending number will be the condition. Okay, then less than greater than will be keep on changing. If you are coming down, then greater than will be there. If you are going up 1 to 10 means less than will be there. Okay, try that. So be careful while explaining the subject. Be careful and listen carefully. Say this 10 to 1. Okay, so this is what we have. If you want, you can note down now. We just pause the video for a few minutes. While loop and do while loop. Okay. While loop is having initialization, condition, increment, decrement. Do while is also having initialization, statements, increment or decrement and condition. Right? The same way, for loop also will have any loop. It may be the while or do while or for loop, whatever it is. It will be having initialization, condition, increment, decrement. The same way, for loop will be having same syntax will be for initialization, condition, then increment or decrement. Usually we will be saying the change, then statements. Okay, this is the syntax of the for loop. Example, let's say if you want to print 1 to 100 or let's say 1 to 10, we have already seen this 1 to 10. Initialization should be starts from whatever the number you are going to start printing. For integer I equals to 1, 1 to 100. I less than or equals to 100. I plus plus. Same. All will be coming inside on bracket. Okay. System dot debug of. Okay. So this is how it will be. Initialization, condition, increment, decrement, everything will be in the single line. See, you have already seen initialization, semicolon, statements, semicolon, increment, decrement, semicolon, condition. Okay, all are statements. So initialization, semicolon, one statement, condition, semicolon, and increment, decrement. That's it. Okay, you have to give the syntax like this one. Write down the syntax for it and example also.
Switch case we don't have Anji here.
What is that, Sati?
Switch case we don't have here. Switch case. Switch case is there, right?
Which case is there, but we don't use rare of scenarios.
Okay, okay, okay.
Switch case is not there, I think. Apex we do not have. Bit confused between Java and Apex.
Okay, Anji.
Okay, so let's see the example. We can see the same we will implement print 100 to 10 to 1 for integer, the same requirement. Starting number is 10. If I say that 10 to 1 means 10 is starting number. Okay, I greater than or equals to 1, I plus plus. Okay, use system dot debug of I. So this is what we need to do. Just use try to print. Seems we gave some wrong. Yes, it has to be minus minus. Okay, 10 to 1 this is created. Okay, so do you guys have any questions for me on this looping statements?
Sir, one doubt, sir. For in for loop, sometimes we see that for integer I is equal to 0, I is less than or equal to 10, I plus plus, even that condition also sometimes works, sir.
The requirement you have to understand, Sujit. So it says that from here we are printing 1 to 100.
Okay,
1, then it will be 2, 3, 4, 5 something. It means value will be changed after printing this number immediately.
okay,
So
sir.
this 100 means I less than or equals to 100. So first one, I is 1. 1 less than or equals to 100. Condition is true. This
Yes,
will
sir.
be printed. Next, I plus plus means I equals to I plus 1. 2 will be there. So 2 less than or equals to 100. Condition is true. Then this will be printed. Again, it will go for 3. So based on the requirement, you have to give plus plus or minus minus.
Okay, sir.
When you give plus plus, then it should be the latest, the small number will be the installation number, and whatever the big number is it, that will be the, so whatever the greatest number, that number will be in the condition. When
Okay,
you
sir.
come down from 100 to 1, 100 will be at initialization, 1 will be at the condition,
Condition.
will be greater than.
Okay, sir.
And
అప్పుడు అక్కడ
here,
I minus minus వస్తుంది. Okay, sir.
okay,
Okay, sir.
so that is about a small value. Okay, now there, Satya, where is Ramesh?
Yes, Anji.
Ramesh,
Yeah.
so you and Satya, please provide some Java programs, basic programs to these guys. Small programs, right? Like sprint Fibonacci series, print odd or even number. Uh, so print the odd number without using second number. Something is there, right?
Okay.
So those basic programs just put in WhatsApp group. These guys will practice using these things.
Okay.
Okay, so all Java's basic programs, whatever we are going to use in interviews or somewhere, so just keep them. The guys will try to write the programs for them. So if they fail somewhere, then we'll try to. So like print a triangle or print something like this, or so those programs just give us. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
keep on practicing them. After the class, just give link or just provide some questions. These guys will try that.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So that's about looping statements. So let's see some small examples what we can do with the looping statements or UNMS. Okay, let them provide the programs first. I'll say that. Okay. And even if you guys want to learn more about the programs, whatever the question they have given, that if you try in Google, you can find the solution for that. Just convert into Apex. But make sure you understand that first. Okay, the looping statements are done. What to do? Could they just pause the video? I have to check.
Done.
Okay, so we have a concept in Salesforce Apex programming language. Apex is an object-oriented programming language, right? Object-oriented programming language. Everything is an object. So the same way, in object-oriented programming language, those are called OOPs. Okay? Object-oriented programming language. So there are concepts. Object OOPs means object-oriented programming language concepts. There are class, object, inheritance, encapsulation, and encapsulation. Okay, so these are called as object-oriented programming language concepts. Class, object. Usually, these four will be explained as object-oriented programming language in Java. So the basic is class and object. Class and object. So once you know the class and object, these are very easy, not a problem at all. I'll explain one by one concept later. Okay, first let's see what is a class. Sati, can you give a good definition for class?
Okay. As a class
Yeah.
is yeah, go ahead. Sachin.
Okay. Class is a collection of variables and member functions. So we can write some variable in the class that is like some scope. It is the private or public, protected or
I was
default.
asking for your definition.
Yeah. Okay. A collection of variables and member functions. We can say.
So class is a collection of methods and objects, and it is a user-defined data.
Okay. So write down the definition for this. A class blueprint or template. A class is a blueprint or template to create an object or instance. Okay, a class is a blueprint or template to create an object or instance. Okay? A class contains variables, methods. Class contains variables, methods, constructors. Variables, methods, and constructors. Okay, be careful. You should be very, very careful while talking about class. Definition will be access modifier. Okay, class keyword. If I give the word in this, then that is a keyword. Means access modifier means there will be some different word for the access modifier. And if I give the class as the capital, then that is the keyword. You will get it. Class name. Then start the brackets. Okay. And inside these, you can have first variables, then constructors, then methods. Okay, write down the syntax: access modifier, class name, then variables, constructors, methods will be there. Okay, now in this syntax, in this syntax, you have not seen what is access modifier. Okay, you have seen the variables how to declare, but we don't know what are the different access modifiers we can. So we have seen this variables are local variables, instance variables, static variables. I have already given the different types. Constructors, what is a constructor? What is a method? Okay, there will be different things. We will see one by one. Okay, now first let's see access modifier. Okay, access modifiers defines that. See, in OWD, you have different types of settings for the objects like private, public read only, public read write, right? That means you are restricting the access for the object, right? In OWD. The same way, if you want to restrict the class permissions for any of the other classes to be used, then you can go for access modifiers. Access modifiers for first one, private, second one, protected, third one, public. Okay. private, protected, then public. Forgot. Mostly use. There is another one called global. Access. Okay, so private, protected, public, then global. Okay, so these are the access modifiers. If you make a class, let's say I want to create a class called employee, usually let's say private, example, private, class is the keyword, so you should always give reply this one. Employee is the class, so give employee, then give this one. Okay, so access modifiers should always start with small letters, and class name also should start with, so class name should always start with capital letter. Okay, so next variable should start with small letters. Constructors and methods. Constructor should have the name as class. I'll explain it later. Methods should all start with small letters. Okay, this is private class employee. Now you should understand why we need a class. Okay, why we need a class. A class is nothing but a template or blueprint we have already seen in technical term. But what is actual class? Okay, so the actual class is an which is not exist in the real-time world. Let's say if you say employee, or let's say farmer, or let's say company, okay, so those are the names of the one existing, or let's say one real-time existing work, or let's say what we can say that it's name of one instance, one person or organization, or it may be the work of some other thing, whatever it is. Okay, employee is one name for given to the number of people. Okay, so quickly just you pause that.